I'm Eli, the electronics guy, and today we're going to talk about home Wi-Fi. So with us, a lot of us working from home now, a lot of people working remotely, and then also just having a lot of connected devices at our homes, we really need to start to think about having like a whole home Wi-Fi system. So this is something that I always run into with helping out clients. So today I kind of wanted to give you a couple tips that you can do just with the equipment you have now, and then also maybe looking at whenever you're time to upgrade or you really need something better, maybe give you some ideas. So let's talk about just some quick ideas. So depending on what you have currently, here in my area, we have mainly WOW and Spectrum are kind of our two main internet service providers. There are a few others, but those are kind of the big two cable provider internet. And that would be the best. If you can do a cable connection, definitely go that route. Try to avoid a DSL. If you're lucky and you can get fiber, yeah, go that route. I wish I could get fiber here, but that's not offered at where I live. So with that internet connection, at a minimum, you want about 100 megabits per second or 100 Mbps. And you're like, okay, I have no idea what that even means, Eli. That's okay. So think of this like a 100-inch pipe. The bigger the pipe, the more bandwidth that it can handle, or the more traffic that can go through it. So, some offer like around the 400 to 500 range. That's definitely great. But when we're talking about going over Wi-Fi, you're really not going to realistically see anything over about a 200 to 250 megabits per second. Now, if you have a lot of devices online, then yeah, maybe that 500 would be good, because then you have enough bandwidth you could share multiple devices having that Wi-Fi access. So a couple things, starting out with at least that 100 megabits per second. If you need to, go up to the 500. If you want to go for the whole gigabit per second speed, definitely that would be awesome. But again, keep in mind, you're not going to see that over the Wi-Fi connection. That's just the inherent limitations of Wi-Fi. So a couple things you can do right now with the equipment that you have. You probably have a router. If it's tucked away in a cabinet or up underneath a desk, I know it's not looks the best, but if you can get that out in open air, that's going to definitely help your internet connection. Getting it outside of the cabinet, putting it kind of ideally in the central area of where you're mainly going to be connecting would definitely help. I see a lot of people use like these plug-in Wi-Fi repeaters. Don't use them. They're going to hurt you more than they help you. Now, some people will go with a mesh system. Those work okay. Personally, I prefer it's by Unify, by Ubiquity is what I really like, and that's what I recommend and install. The nice thing about that is it's a distributed wireless system. So you actually have a hardwire backhaul back to the main router, and then you have your wireless access points throughout the house. Trying to use the existing wiring in the walls, or if we need to run new wiring to get those online. Definitely wanting to have a hardwired backhaul. That's one thing I don't like about the mesh systems, is you have to depend on that wireless connection. So with the equipment you currently have, trying to get that out into the open air. If you have to upgrade, definitely look into the Ubiquity stuff. It is a little tricky to program, but if you need any help with any of that, I can definitely help you out with all that, with the installation, with the wiring even. That's one of the services I do offer, is running wires, fishing walls. I'm your guy for that. So if that's something I can help out with, definitely feel free to reach out. One thing I do offer is a site survey, where I come out and do a site evaluation, kind of see with what we have, what we're working with, and then send you over like a quote with all the parts that you would order. And then you actually get that back. There's a small fee for that, but that's just to cover my time. But you do actually get that small fee back if you have me do the installation. So that's one way to make that site evaluation kind of free. So awesome. Hopefully this helps a little bit, getting that Wi-Fi access point out into the open, trying to maybe look at new equipment if you have to. And yeah, thank you guys.